Annie Dawson refuses to be categorized the podcast, and I have been a wee bit absent of late, but don't worry, I am back. I have just been freaking busy. Freaking stuff. That's all right. I wanted to share with you about my next 21-day challenge. Honestly, the only thing I even did with doing my 21-day challenge experiments was to let go of social media, it would have been a life-changing success. And my first challenge of no social media is formally complete, though I still need to do a write-up about the final results and how I'm moving forward with it. And even though the challenge is complete, I really am not returning to my old ways. It felt way too good to be free of social media. This is totally my new normal. So I've been moodling about what to do for challenge number 2. It's got big shoes to fill considering how vital the first challenge was. And I want it to be just as powerful and transcendent and something that scares me and seems a little bit impossible. So 21 days of journaling doesn't fulfill that criteria. I've somehow already started doing that this year. It's become my new normal. 21 days of orgasms, again, that'd be super fun, but not too far from reality. And 21 days of walking can get fucked at this point in time because it is humid and hot and it's summer and I don't want to have to soak through countless bras and undies from sweating. And also, I just don't really feel like I'm done sucking the marrow out of my social media challenge yet. It's really challenged me to think about all the content that I am consuming and where I spend my time online. And I feel like I need to deepen the challenge by moving into a full-blown digital declutter. And doing a full-blown digital declutter is something that's recommended in both How to Break Up with Your Phone by Catherine Price and Digital Minimalism by Cal Newport. And those are my new Bibles that haven't led me astray yet. So it is into the great digital declutter beyond I go. So what does a digital declutter mean for me? Well, I've thought a lot and hard about this and I've created some parameters for myself. Now, what's not allowed during this challenge for the next 21 days is no internet browsing, no online shopping, no smartphone use. I can only use it as a dumb phone, like phones, text messages and phone calls, and wherever possible, just leave it at home instead. No news websites, no Reddit, no BuzzFeed, no celebrity gossip websites, which are my usual time waster websites, no TikTok or YouTube, no social media, and no tapas or webtoons, which are like graphic comic apps, which is a little bit of a bummer for me because it's a recent obsession. But I have about 50 paperback graphic comics to get me through, so it should totally tide me over. Now, in terms of what's allowed with parameters, email and Facebook Messenger access is allowed for 2 times a day for 15 minutes at a time together, and must be done via laptop, must be timed and logged to prevent it from becoming a background constant. And reading blogs via Bloglovin. I haven't worked out the constraints of that yet. It might be without restriction, but it might need a time constraint. I'm just going to experiment with that one and work it out as I go. Now, what's allowed without restriction for me is essential business software like Kajabi, any tools and apps that I use to make stuff like WordPress for writing on my website, Procreate, which I do digital drawings on, and Anchor for recording podcasts. Also, I give myself unfettered access to any online courses I'm currently studying, reading on my Kindle and purchasing new Kindle books when needed, and podcasts and audiobooks. I listen to those for about only an hour a week or so it's not a huge time suck or a distraction for me. I just usually listen when I'm driving. How I'm going to find out about news and stay informed. I'm going to be reading 1 to 2 newspapers every weekend. I've just started doing this again recently, and I find I am so much more knowledgeable about shit than just reading a chorus of rage tweets. Usually breaking news is not something that would require me to change my actions straight away, but we are in a pandemic, and if we suddenly have a COVID outbreak and new restrictions are put in place, my husband will let me know, or my dad, or friends. The reality is, though, there's only been twice in the last year when that's happened, and so I don't actually need to be informed 24/7, and there's totally now like negative ramifications from me being informed 24/7. So thinking ahead, like some parts that might be tricky is like the first thing that I think of is like, how the fuck am I going to keep up with my eldest kids' insatiable hunger for graphic novels? And that might seem like a funny concern, but it's really real to me. It feels like I've got a part-time job currently, just sourcing the kinds of graphic novels that she likes. We've gone through all the graphic novels available at our local library and school library. She can read up to 5 a day, and I don't want to stymie her obsession. I think it's an excellent one to have. So before the challenge starts, I'll preemptively place a bulk order online to try and get us to tide us over for 21 days. And I've already asked our favorite local bookstore to get in as many as they can as well. Other parts that might be tricky, both my kids' birthdays happen during the challenge period. I've already ordered most of their birthday presents online, so if I need to get anything else, I'll shop locally. I might need to do a quick internet search to organize a couple of upcoming friend events. I just need to be conscious of not falling down the rabbit hole as I do it. So I'll keep a pen and paper beside me and time it when I do. We also have a Scholastic book club catalogue that will come in March, and damn it, I will be buying books, so help me book God. I will not be restrained. I also don't want to keep the Gmail app on my iPad and iPhone because otherwise I'll just sleepwalk into opening it all the time. The only issue is I constantly send emails to myself to remind myself I have ideas, or send drawings or photos to myself between devices. So I'm going to need to remind myself to airdrop them to my laptop when I'm with it. And if that doesn't work, I might need to consider another option, like making an email address that I give to nobody and just use it to send myself emails. I'm also going to collect I also currently collect all of my links for scrapbook posts by emailing myself the links as I find them. So I think what I'll need to do is either save them in the blog loving app by clicking the heart button, or keep a note on my iPad that I remind myself to look through when compiling that post. Now, in terms of how I'm going to set myself up for success, I deleted all the smartphone apps off my phone except for podcasts, audiobooks, Map, my calendar, and the app I use to order medications for pickup at the local chemist. There's nothing exciting on my phone, nothing exciting at all. I've also done the same to my iPad, except that it on top of like the base ones that I need, it has Procreate, the app, GoodNotes, and Anchor for creating with, and blog loving for reading blogs. I've also created an app time limit for blog loving on my iPad. It's not a huge concern for me as I do get so much inspiration for it, but I'll be interested to see if it feels better with a limit on it or not. I also upgraded to a 3-year account with blocksite.co so I could block even more websites. And that's been really invaluable for me to stop sleepwalking into websites that I don't want to be. I also tried to just have a white list of like allowed websites, and it did not work. I need to be able to access Google and shit like that. So I've just gone back to banning myself from, the ones I really don't want to be on. I don't want to be on any social media. I don't want to be on Reddit, on YouTube, on social media sites. I want to be nothing, just my work. And I also preemptively told my closest friend and my assistant about my new limits on email and messenger so they know how to contact me and when to expect my response. I also grabbed a copy of Cal Newport's time block planner because, yes, I am an obsessed fangirl. Thank you so much for noticing. And this part really grabbed my attention, however. He says, tip, capture email and instant messenger communication in their own blocks. Many knowledge workers don't consider checking email or instant messenger channels a standalone activity. They instead think of it as something that's always done in parallel with primary work. I highly discourage this mindset. All of these quick checks of communication channels significantly reduce your cognitive capacity due to neural network switching costs. So you need to batch your email or instant messenger time into their own blocks. When you get to one of those communication blocks, do nothing but communicate And when you're not in one of those blocks, don't communicate at all. If your work requires you to check those tools often, then schedule lots of blocks to do so, but refuse to let this behavior be something that occurs informally in the background. So there's so many reasons why I want to preserve my time and my attention. And somebody asked me yesterday if I was going to join Clubhouse, and I laughed. Do I really need another way to connect with humans? No, I have everything that I need already. Do I need to fiercely protect my time and my life in order to be a sane and happy and present and creative soul? Yes, with everything I have. Look, after decades of accruing fancy new time-sucking habits, tools and software that create minimal value for maximum cost, it's really time for me to redefine my relationship completely with tech. I got to start working out what I really want and need from my internet life and kill off the rest and optimize the rest of what I use to ensure that it doesn't cost me more than it gives. So I'm feeling really excited. I hope this has inspired you to consider how you can change your tech life and update it so that it fits you instead of you fitting it. And if you love this podcast, please share it along with somebody that you think it might find helpful. If you could share it with 3 people today, I would be so grateful and so honored, and I'd look forward to connecting with them and helping them as well. I send you so much love. Bye.